All right, here's my stash of Dash appliances -1 that we just used. Now I'm gonna be sharing several recipes in some of these today. If you are new, my name is Vanessa and I have shared a video not too long ago. I will have it in the description box and I'll have it linked up in the iCards if you guys want to click on that and see some other Dash appliances that I own that we cooked up some recipes in, and I shared that with you guys. But today we're using some more appliances and I have several, 7, 8, I don't even know, but my oldest daughter uses them quite often and they are coming in handy teaching my younger 3 how to make lunch and breakfast. They are really getting more hands-on in the kitchen. So I'm gonna share some more recipes in my Dash appliances, and I will have all the appliances that I own linked down below. And I did get a comment in the last video. No, this is not sponsored. I paid my own money for all of these appliances. Dash doesn't even know that I'm doing this or that I bought them or anything like that. So this is totally just something that I have enjoyed having in my kitchen and I wanted to share with you guys. So if you are new, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around. So let's go ahead and get into me sharing with you guys a few recipes and how easy it is to use these Dash appliances. All right, sweetness in the Express Mini Donut Maker. And I am using a recipe that is in the book. And this is for vegan mini donuts. So I think that is awesome that they have some vegan options in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this. It makes 28 mini donuts. Let me show you guys the inside. So you can do about 7 at a time. And I've got all my ingredients out. So basically you're going to mix together the flour, baking powder, and sugar in a bowl. Then in a separate bowl, you're gonna put all the wet ingredients. You're going to use the almond milk, the applesauce, the vanilla, and the butter. And you know what? I don't see where it says cinnamon. So I'm assuming the cinnamon's gonna go in with the dry ingredients, but they totally left it out of the directions. So I'm gonna put the cinnamon in with the dry, and then we're going to add the dry to the wet. I've got my 2 different mixing bowls out. I've got my whisk. You're going to need a toothpick to turn the donuts over. You're gonna let them cook on one side for a minute, then open it up, turn them over, cook for another few minutes. And I need a gallon baggie to be able to put my dough into the donut mold. So let's go ahead and get started.
Queen of hearts, when everyone folds, your fork still holds your place in your bed, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence, letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. You're playing it cool, bending all the rules, talking way too loud, and you're
okay, mini donuts are done. I am not going to ice them all. I'm gonna keep them in a little container in my fridge and only ice them when the kids are eating them. So I only had to spray this once to make all of these, and they didn't stick at all. Now, I don't know if you guys saw in the little clip if it picked it up or not, but the toothpick, using the toothpick to turn them over after a minute and a half, they weren't done all the way and the toothpick just ripped like a big hole in them. So I kind of used the toothpick to flip them and just quickly move them into place, but they are hot, just warning. So I was able to make this big batch. I made a chocolate frosting to go on top. Now I did use heavy cream, so my oldest daughter, she's not a huge fan of icing anyway. She likes plain cupcakes and everything, so she will not use this, but it's heavy cream, powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and vanilla. and that's it. So I'm gonna ice them just the amount that the kids are gonna eat. I also topped them with some sprinkles, so that was super easy and a little bit healthier because I know exactly what's in these versus buying donuts from a bakery or from the store. Okay, we are going to use our mini maker griddle. Here it is right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in so it can get warm. And I do spray pretty much everything. I just hate when food sticks. So I'm gonna be using my avocado oil spray, and I am just going to make a basic pancake. I feel like the last several times I've made pancakes, they've always been some sort of flavor, whether I put a skinny syrup in it, like birthday cake is one of my kids' favorites, to add a little sweetness to it, or chocolate chips, or recently I made banana pancakes. This time I'm just gonna make your basic pancake. So I've got some flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, 1 egg, a cup of milk, and I'm going to melt about 2 tablespoons of butter. Mix this all together, and we are going to make, it should make about 8 pancakes. So let's go ahead and get cooking.
You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you made of glass. Got an invincible fence, letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft. Come on.
Here are the pancakes. It made 7 regular sized and then a smaller for number 8. So I did want to show that these are the bottoms where they got nice and brown because it's touching the, I mean, it's this way better. So the top is just lightly sitting on there. There's no lock, it just kind of closes. So the other side of your pancake, it looks like that, but they are all done completely through. I actually love these. They're more fluffy because there's heat on both sides, so you can kind of see how fluffy and thicker they are. These are gonna taste delicious. Okay, second, we'll say recipe for the griddle. I already showed you guys pancakes for our sweet, and this one's definitely a little bit more savory. So we are going to make pizzas. However, I'm not gonna make a bunch of little ones just because of our family size. It doesn't make sense to make a whole bunch of little ones. So I'm just showing you guys to give you ideas if you're just feeding 1 or 2 people. So I have this ready to bake pizza dough, the garlic and herb from Trader Joe's. This is also, if you guys omit the bacon, vegan. The pizza dough is vegan, so my oldest daughter is gonna have some pizza as well, just no bacon on her. So we're gonna have a bacon avocado pizza. Again, I've got the pizza dough. I'm gonna take enough of the pizza dough to make a small one to show you guys. And then for our toppings, we're gonna do some tomatoes, a shallot, some balsamic vinegar. I've got some avocado oil here for the pizza when we bake it up. I've got some microgreens, 3 avocados that we've already mashed up and then seasoned with salt and pepper. And then this is pre-cooked bacon, so all I have to do is pop it in the microwave to get it nice and crumbly, and then that will go on top as well. So let me go ahead and get my pizza dough ready. We're gonna do a little bit of prep for the produce, and I will show you guys all of it before we start cooking our pizza dough. All right, guys, so like I already showed you, we've got the toppings. I cut up the tomatoes, I sliced the shallot, and then I put a 1/4 cup of avocado oil in here and 2 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar. I did plug in my griddle so it could preheat so it is nice and hot. See the steam? I am going to spray both sides. And then I'm also, here's my little piece of dough here. I'm also going to put a little bit of olive oil on this side. Don't worry, my counters are nice and clean for this. And I'm gonna put that on the griddle, push it out a little bit. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more on the top. And again, just use my finger or a little pastry brush if you wanna do that, and spread that out. And now I'm gonna close the lid and I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. I might need to flip it, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna start with 5 minutes. Okay, we've got Paige's here. So I only ended up making 1. I thought this would be perfect for her. And of course she does not have any bacon on hers. And then the other 3 adults, are going to be able to eat this. Oh my gosh. I mean, they look and smell so good, and hopefully this Trader Joe's pizza dough tastes good. I bet it will, but that was super easy to make, and just like I feel like it's a little bit of a fancier take on pizza and somewhat healthier. And then I don't know if you guys saw in the background, we've got a mess here, but there's the younger 3 kids. I figured to show you pizza all around. But I cannot wait to cut into this. And this was super easy, you guys. Again, like, these are perfect for 1 or 2 servings. Super yummy and super easy. All right, we are going to use the mini maker waffle. So there you go. And of course I spray everything. So I've got my spray sitting here. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in so it can start getting hot. Oops, and I'm not using a recipe in the book. I'm actually gonna use a donut recipe and try to make them into waffles. So I'm gonna need 1 1/4 cup of flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 large egg, a 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, which I am going to melt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in some sprinkles into the batter instead of putting them on the top. That way it's like a funfetti waffle donut or donut waffle. So I'm gonna mix all the dry ingredients and then the wet ingredients separately, put them together, and then we'll use about a 1/4 cup measuring. That's what I like to use. Those are pretty much perfect for the size that you're looking for in this little mini waffle maker. So let's get it all mixed up and cooking and see how they turn out. I have the dry ingredients mixed together and then the wet, including the sugar, and I forgot the buttermilk. So instead of buying fresh buttermilk, I bought this. That way I always have some on hand, and all you do to make 1 cup, use 1 cup of water and then 4 tablespoons of the cultured buttermilk blend. So I've got my 1 cup of buttermilk going into my wet ingredients. All right, everything is mixed together. I use probably about 2 heaping tablespoons of the sprinkles until I just sprinkled them in there until they were really nice and combined. And then again, I like to use a 1/4 cup because it fills it nice. And then I'm gonna cook this for 5 minutes. So while the waffles cook, I'm gonna go ahead and make a glaze. I found this on a website that I will have linked down below. It has 3 different donut glaze recipes, but it actually has more than 3. I don't know why it says 3. It's got a vanilla, a funfetti, a chocolate, a maple, and then a cinnamon sugar, which isn't really a glaze. You just roll it up and cinnamon and sugar mixed together. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the vanilla and glaze my donuts when they're all done. And it just says 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk, and then 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I'm gonna mix that up into a measuring cup, and that way I can just drizzle it over the waffles when they are all done. All right, I think these are gonna be a new favorite for my kids. So I pulled out 2 small pans. I wasn't sure how many this batch was going to make, but you can see here there are 11, and that's everything. I scraped the bowl. These look so good. I haven't taken a bite. I did overfill one of them, so I tore some of that off, and the flavor is spot on. It tastes like a funfetti donut, and then the vanilla glaze you guys can see here. I'm gonna leave these sitting out just a little bit longer, especially these ones. These are the last few that I made, but it does set, so you can stack these in a container, keep them in the refrigerator. That way you have a funfetti donut waffle with a vanilla glaze all week long. Okay, it is lunchtime, and I'm gonna whip up something fun for the kids, and I am using one of the recipes that come with the booklet. So they definitely give you quite a few fun and definitely kid-friendly recipes if you guys just want to change things up for your kids during, you know, this summertime with everybody staying home. I really am enjoying diving into these booklets that come with the appliance. So I think that's great. But this one is a waffle biscuit pizza. So we're going to be using some milk, flour, baking powder, salt, and butter, and then whatever kind of ingredients that, like the fillings that you want, that your kids like on pizzas. So I'm just going to be using these pepperoni minis. I thought these would fit better in here than traditional pepperoni, and then some mozzarella cheese. So let's go ahead and start whipping these up.
a little, little by little, day by day, I'm caught in the middle of a spinning wheel where all I feel is the ice getting thinner. Step by step, day by day, I'm fighting a winner. Pushed around, I'm nowhere bound, no solid ground. How can I get it back? How can I be strong? And all I do comes out old. I wanna be a saint, but I ain't. I'm far from. I wanna be brave, I wanna stand tall, but I feel like I'm losing this war. How can I stand my ground when I'm back down each time? Time is a struggle, little by little, day by day, I'm trying to juggle. Losing track, no turning back, I'm running through fire. Step by step, day by day, burning the wire. Pushed around, nowhere bound, no solid ground. How can I get it back? How can I be strong when all I do?
All right, so I am making 2 for each of my kids, and I cut them in half so you guys could kind of see the middle there. You can see the pepperoni and the cheese, and also cutting them in half is gonna make it easier for them to dunk into the pizza sauce. So this is definitely a fun, just different thing to make pizza for lunch for your kids, and they are all here waiting to dig in. Okay guys, so I have cooked with this several times. My go-to here lately has been whenever we have sloppy joes or chili, we do like a cheese waffle for the sloppy joes, and then for the chili we would do like a cornbread bowl. Super fun and different way to spruce up dinner. But I'm gonna make a dessert. So it did come with the booklet, like all of them do, the deluxe waffle bowl maker. And this dessert is actually in the booklet. So there's the recipe. I know there's a glare on it, but we're gonna do some dark chocolate waffle bowls, and we are gonna fill them with vanilla ice cream. We are actually out of strawberries, so I'm gonna leave it up to the kids if they want blueberries or raspberries or just ice cream. And then I'm not gonna do the powdered sugar. We have some caramel syrup or chocolate syrup that I can drizzle over top. So here's everything that I need. I've got my 2 bowls because I'm gonna do the dry ingredients in one, wet ingredients in the other, and then combine them. So I need some sugar, butter, which I do need to melt, cocoa powder, flour, buttermilk, where I will just mix this powdered buttermilk blend with water, and that creates buttermilk, 1 egg, some chocolate chips. I have a few chunks mixed in there as well, and then baking powder and baking soda, and of course whatever spray you want just to help it not stick. So let's go ahead and mix all the ingredients together and make these dark chocolate waffle bowls. All right, I've got the batter all mixed up. I don't think I should have mixed these because they're just falling to the bottom. I should have just sprinkled the chocolate chips, but anyway, I'm using half a cup, putting it in here, and I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You guys, I haven't even set the timer yet, and I'm just going off the instructions in the booklet. I knew I should have stuck with my 1/4 cup, which is what I typically do. Look at that. This is going to be, that side's not bad. That's gonna be a mess to clean up. I think the next one I make, I'm gonna stick with my 1/4 cup and see how that turns out. All right, I've got one in there. The 3 minutes, 30 seconds is working good, and the 1/4 cup is way better than the half cup. So those are my suggestions. I think I can make 2, possibly 3 more, but let me show you over here. I've got the kids, of course, they were like, no fruit. So this is the one that was a half a cup. So I mean, the bowl looks better. It's more full, but it makes a huge mess. So we've got one with just chocolate syrup. This is what I had in the refrigerator. I've got some sugar-free caramel and the Hershey Simply 5. And then 2 of them wanted both of them. So this is one I need to give to them because they're already starting to melt. But this is the 1/4 cup. I'm not sure why that one must have been more of a full 1/4 cup, but I kind of like this one just because it's not super big. They look yummy and smell yummy, and the kids are definitely going to enjoy eating them up.
Okay guys, it is Saturday morning. We all slept in a little bit. The kids are still sleeping actually. So my husband and I are in the kitchen and I am gonna use the waffle bowl maker. So you guys already saw me make something sweet in it. And now I'm going to make breakfast. So this recipe is actually in the book. So if you guys buy the waffle maker, you'll be able to see the recipe. And it is egg and cheese hash brown waffle bowl. So of course I am going to spray my waffle bowl. I've got some sharp shredded cheese here. I'm gonna be using some milk, salt and pepper, 3 eggs, a 1/4 cup of green onions or chives, and then I've got my hash browns, and the recipe does specifically say 20 ounces. So I have a 20-ounce bag of hash browns right here. Super simple. You're just whisking together the milk and the eggs and then stirring in the rest of your ingredients. So I've already got my bowl, my whisk, and my spoon out. I am ready to go. So let's make these egg and cheese hash brown waffle bowls. Okay, everything is mixed together. Oh, I cannot wait to eat breakfast this morning. I already sprayed the inside of the waffle bowl, and then I'm not going to use my 1/4 cup like I normally do for these things. I'm just going to use my spoon and kind of, it's nice and hot. You can see I did plug it in and preheat it. So I think I'm going to do, I don't know, since this isn't a liquid, it's not the same, maybe 3 of these scoops and see how that works. All right, we're going to try that out. We're going to put 3 scoops in there, close it. Oh, you really got to push this down and be careful because this whole thing gets hot. That's the only downside of these machines. You really can't touch them, or just use an oven mitt. I just don't have one. But this whole thing is hot. Even this part is pretty hot when I'm closing it. So I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes, since I've been talking for a little bit since I put that in there, and check it out and see how they look at that point. All right, so 4 minutes I think is good. All I did was, I should have set the camera up, but I didn't. I just took my fork and I went around it and it pops right out. I don't want to touch it because it's probably super hot. So there's the first one. My husband's actually making what's gonna go inside, so I can't wait to show you that. This is definitely gonna make several, so I'll show you guys how many, because the recipe booklet doesn't tell you how many it's gonna make. I'll show you how many this ends up making, but this smells delicious. All right, we are getting hungry, so I'm not going to wait until they're all done to show you guys. I figured I would go ahead, but this is gonna make 7 total. So I've got 4 on my plate here. I've got 1 already made up. So Mark made some sausage gravy to stuff our bowls with. So here's our sausage gravy over here. But like I said, it's gonna make 7. So I've got 5, I've got 1 in here right now, and then I've got enough to make 1 more. And little tip, definitely spray it after each use. So every time I've used the Dash machine in the past, all the different appliances that I have, I really only spray it once. Sometimes I'll spray it a second time, like in the middle of the batches that I'm making, depending on how many it makes. But this one, I've been spraying every time, because the second one I didn't spray and it definitely stuck a little bit more. I had to really use my fork to get it out, so I didn't want anything to start burning. So just my recommendation, spray it after or before every use for these hash brown waffle bowls. But I'm excited to dig in. I know it's gonna taste amazing because it smells absolutely delicious.
All right, you guys, so that is all I have to share with you today. So many different things. I'm excited to really, for one, get my kids starting to use these more often. They made lunch for themselves the other day. It was so cute and super easy for them to do. Now, I still clean it up because it does get pretty messy, especially what they've been enjoying is, their favorite is making grilled cheese. Whatever kind of bread, English muffin, bread, whatever. They've been enjoying doing that in the griddle or the sandwich, the pocket maker. Those are their 2 favorites right now. But again, if you guys missed that last video, it is linked down below so you guys can check out the other appliances. If you enjoyed this type of video, give it a big thumbs up. I love all things kitchen. I like using new appliances. I like sharing them with you. If you guys have any suggestions for whether it's a specific appliance or certain kind of video, food related, leave that down in the comments. I love getting y'all's ideas for future videos for me to share with you guys. So that is it, and I will see you guys in the next video.